Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Now, if you've been keeping up with any Star Wars news recently, then you know there's been some hot topics being said about Disney and how they handle the sequel trilogy. I just want to clarify before we dive in that I'm not trying to hate on the sequel trilogy or Disney at all, but just going into why most Star Wars fans are disappointed in the execution of these films and how they could have been planned better and have a more positive impact with the community. Now, last week there was a GQ magazine article with John Boyega expressing his frustrations with Disney Star Wars. I'll link the article in the description if you guys want to check it out. But this is what John had to say. "It's so difficult to maneuver," he says, exhaling deeply, visibly collaborating the level of professional diplomacy to display. You get yourself involved in projects and you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed to the side. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. He is talking about himself here, about the character of Finn, the former stormtrooper who wielded a lightsaber in the first film before being somewhat nudged to the periphery. But he's also talking about other people of color in the cast, Naomi Ackie and Kelly Marie Tran, and even Oscar Isaac, a brother from Guatemala, who he feels suffer the same treatment. He's acknowledging that some people will say he's crazy or making it up, but the recorded character hierarchy of The Last Jedi was particularly hard to take. Like, you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. You knew what to do with Adam Driver, he says. You knew what to do about these other people. But when it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to John Boyega, F all. So what do you want me to say? What they want you to say is, I enjoyed being part of it. It was a great experience. No. I'll take that deal when it's a great experience. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver, all the nuance to Daisy Ridley. Let's be honest. Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows. I'm not exposing anything. So what he's saying is true. When The Force Awakens came out, the trailers and movie posters had John wielding Anakin's lightsaber and pushing the notion that he would be a very important character and would have an interesting storyline. We can see in the movie posters that it is John holding the lightsaber and not Rey. Now, when I first saw this, I thought, man, this guy's going to have a cool story arc. I mean, a stormtrooper who deserted the First Order, fights for the rebellion, is potentially Force sensitive? Like, come on! But instead, we only got a few minutes with him in the lightsaber, and the entire time, he was just getting his butt kicked. And even after that, his character just faded into the background and was just there for the rest of the two movies. I definitely feel for him when he says Disney knew what to do with Rey and Kylo's characters, but not him. They had no idea. Finn, or Trooper 2187, had the potential to be and have an amazing storyline. So much untapped potential with his character, but they just had him in the shadows. We can probably well say that John Boyega is done with Star Wars, and I don't blame him. It's just really unfortunate. Now, some heavy news came out yesterday when Daisy Ridley was on the Jimmy Kimmel Show being hosted by Josh Gad. Let's take a look to see what they said.
Guinea, did you know about the parentage? Tell me about that journey of when you found out.
No. At the beginning, there was toying with like an Obi-Wan connection, and then it really went, there were like different versions, and then it really went to that she was no one. And then it came to episode 9, and JJ pitched me the film and was like, oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaddy. And I was like, awesome. And then 2 weeks later, he was like, oh, we're not sure. So it kept changing. So then even I was filming, and I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be.
So as we heard, even Daisy really didn't even know how the story would play out and end. They were constantly changing it. Now, if your main character doesn't even know what's going on, then no one knows what's going on. With the flipping from Rey being related to Obi-Wan, then her being a nobody, and finally deciding on Palpatine, made the sequel trilogy very confusing and inconsistent.
If Palpatine's your grandfather, who exactly is your grandmother in that scenario?
You tell me, Josh.
Now, if you like the sequel trilogy, then good for you. Wear it proud. And I'll honestly say that I like The Force Awakens. From the hype again for new Star Wars movies, and the story having potential to be great moving forward, I was excited to see what came next. But after seeing The Last Jedi in theaters, I was really confused. I didn't know what to think, but just why and how they could do this with the whole plot and with killing off Luke Skywalker of all people. I felt lost about where the story would go. Now, I do believe Rian Johnson did not know Star Wars and just went along to make a movie. Even Sam Witwer, who voices Maul in the Clone Wars, said Rian Johnson did not do his Star Wars homework. Now, Rian is a great director. Like, Knives Out was a fantastic film. But when you're given the chance to continue the story of one of the biggest franchises in the world, you should at least look into and understand the story. Everything from The Last Jedi was so shaken up that The Rise of Skywalker was mostly spent on fixing those mistakes. I know J.J. Abrams gets a lot of hate for coming back and directing Rise of Skywalker. But even John Boyega says, everyone needs to leave my boy alone. He wasn't even supposed to come back and try to save your crap. And I'm thankful he did fix these issues. But that's all the movie was about. It just felt like a waste of time. Most of us predicted that no one had a plan when making these films, and we were right. Proven from the actors themselves. It's safe to say with poor planning and deliverance that those who worked on the sequel trilogy are not coming back.
Hypothetically, one day, 10 years from now, they come back to you and they say, hey, Dicey, we would love for you to come back and reprise Rey in a new series of Star Wars films. Do you think you would do it?
I mean, the world is a crazy place right now. 10 years seems an awfully long way away. I'd say never, but to me, Rise of Skywalker was tie it up with a bow. Tie it up with a bow.
It's just sad to see the inevitable unfold. I mean, George Lucas, out of pure willingness, tried to help, handed Disney a full story for the sequel trilogy, and they just tossed it away like it was nothing. As if 42 years of stories, fans, and more didn't seem enough for them to see what they should have done. When you don't stay true to the original creator's vision, things get messy. And it just shows why Season 7 of Clone Wars is more loved by fans than the sequel trilogy, because Dave Filoni stuck to George Lucas's vision. Now there's a divide in the fandom, and Disney sees that. Now like I said, I'm not trying to hate on the sequel trilogy or those who worked on it, especially the actors. It's not really their fault, and I thank them for speaking out on this. But I just hope that Disney takes this as a learning lesson and moves forward from this. You can't change the past, but you can make a brighter future. Well, that is what happened in the last couple of days. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this. Please hit the like button so videos like these can reach more Star Wars fans, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Have a great rest of your day, and may the Force be with you.